In many relationships, we often notice common patterns. The pursuer or the withdrawer. Not every relationship looks the same, but many of us recognize these reactions in ourselves. Both are attempts to protect the relationship and do our best. But they are often driven by a deep fear of rejection or abandonment. These dynamics can lead to misunderstanding, emotional hurt, and eventually make conflict feel worse instead of better. In many relationships, we often notice some dynamics. We see these relational struggles throughout the Bible as well. Today, we'll look at 2 biblical stories to explore why we react this way and how we can move toward deeper connection, understanding, and healing in our relationships. As Moses travels to Egypt, called by God to lead Israel, something unexpected happens. The Lord confronts him so seriously that Moses' life is in danger. Zipporah, his wife, acts immediately. She circumcises their son and touches Moses' feet, saying, "Surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me." This moment reveals deep tension. Moses appears to withdraw, hesitating or avoiding a spiritual responsibility God had clearly commanded. Zipporah becomes the pursuer, stepping in urgently to protect her family and preserve Moses' calling. Pursuers often act quickly because anxiety and fear of disconnection heighten their sense of urgency. Withdrawers often pull back, not out of rebellion, but fear, overwhelm, or inner conflict. This story reminds us, avoiding responsibility doesn't remove tension, it often intensifies it. The second story takes place after the victory on Mount Carmel. Elijah seems to take on a pursuer-like role, acting boldly and directly in response to the moment. Fire fell from heaven. God's power was undeniable. Yet one threat from Jezebel changes everything. She becomes the pursuer, using fear and intimidation. Elijah becomes the withdrawer, fleeing into hiding in the wilderness and later taking refuge in a cave. He is exhausted, afraid, alone. And here, God does something remarkable. He doesn't rebuke Elijah. He feeds him. God meets the withdrawer not with shame, but with care. He lets him rest. Later, God reminds Elijah, "You are not alone. There are still 7,000 who have not bowed to Baal." Withdrawal doesn't disqualify us. It reveals our need for support. Both stories reveal the same truth. When fear enters, relationships fall into patterns, pursuing or withdrawing. But God steps into those moments with grace. Healing begins when we recognize the pattern, not blame the person. A pursuer often moves closer in response to the fear of rejection, trying to fix, resolve, or reconnect quickly. Yet, they may not realize that their intense emotions can unintentionally push the withdrawer further away. What they are often trying to communicate is not anger, but a deeper plea for connection. "Can you be there for me?" We encourage pursuers to slow down and use attachment language, speaking in a calm, gentle tone that invites connection rather than pressure. The withdrawer also responds to fear. Beneath the silence or distance is often a deep worry. What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm rejected when I speak up? We hope withdrawers can find the courage to turn toward the relationship, to stay present, to talk together, and to hear the message behind the pursuer's actions. You just need to say, "I want to be there for you." It's also important to note that when a pursuer stops pursuing and becomes a withdrawer, because it can be a dangerous sign of disconnection. Likewise, when someone is withdrawing, the pursuer may need to learn how to wait patiently and calmly, creating safety rather than urgency. So, where do you see yourself? Take a moment to reflect. Bring this honestly before the cross, confess, ask for help, and invite Jesus into this place. God desires to heal us. He truly wants to help. And if the struggles feel overwhelming, we encourage you to seek support from a trusted therapist or counselor who can walk alongside you in this journey of healing and connection.